Hey guys, Inder this side from 24/7 everything. Hope you all are doing great. We are again back with another video and this time it's on Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1 related to its latest version, that is Android 10 Beta 4, and in this video we'll covering the review part. So let's begin with that. So on my phone screen you are able to view that Android version 10 with the security patch level of 5 August 2020, and aside to that kernel version 4.4.192 perf plus, and the build number is ending 432, which is with the September 3rd 2020. Although I won't say that Asus has patched a very good or reliable version, but as compared to the previous version like 407, 427 and 429, it has some improvement even in sound, but we will be discussing each and everything in the preceding sections. So after about section, now let's move to the system part, and in system I have already covered like gesture, but just for the one who has never seen these parts. So gesture, these are the already available gesture. You can program it according to you, or I would say configure it according to your usage. A part of this system navigation where you can select Android 10 base gesture navigation, or if you are a fan of 2 button or 3 button, then you can select any one. But for the videos part, I'm using 3 button. After gestures, now let's move to developer options. If you are not aware that how to turn it on, so just move to about section, and after a build number, just tap it here 6 to 7 times. After it will show you that you are a developer now, and afterward you will see this option, that is developer option. So after that, just tap it here, and here I have already discussed these in my previous videos, again for the ones who have never. So please bear with that part as well. So firstly, like you have to move to the debugging section. So this is debugging. You should always turn on USB debugging, and it's a very helpful because whenever sometime your phones might be, I would say, not working in fast boot mode and so on. So you can this particular option will surely be helpful for you. Afterward, you can see one more option, that is game driver preferences. So I've already created a dedicated video on that where you can select or provide the privilege for this particular app as a graphic driver, or I would say system graphic driver or game driver and so on. So I'll be posting that particular URL in the description box below. So after debugging, now we have to move to the drawing section. Again, some of you might have already seen. So for it's again for the new persons. So firstly, I always recommend to select these three options as in 0.5. By default, it will be having animation scale as 1x. So make it 1.5x, 0.5x, 0.5x in three options. So after drawing section, now we just have to move to the very bottom where you will see these theming options. So very first thing is accent color. So by default, it is device default, which will look like this. So let me change it to maybe green. So now you will see this is a green color. So system wide the accent color would be changed. A part to this headline or body font. So by default it is device default. Either you can change to Noto Serif or Source Sans Pro. So it will change it accordingly. But I would like device default even in my accent color. And last one is icon shape. So again they have used this particular round circle. So you can change it to maybe my favorite one, teardrop. So it will be like this, teardrop. So again it depends upon you. So I just discussed this part so that if you want to customize something at your side, then you can do it. So after system part, now let's move to the security section. In security section, pin, pattern, password swipe, all are working absolutely fine. Beside to that, fingerprint and face unlocks are also working absolutely fine. Even both fingerprint scanner and face unlock have a good response time as compared to the previous versions of like 407, 424 and 429. Again, if someone is having some problem, then do comment in the comment section below so that this will be helpful for others as well. So after security section, now let's move to the storage section. So we are able to access internal storage as well, and aside to that portable storage, that is SD card. Although this was never an issue in the previous version as well, but with respect to USB device connecting to with your laptop or PC, now it is working fine, which was failing in previous beta version. So it is not even a problem now. So after the storage section, now let's move to the sound section. So as per the changelog by Asus, they have mentioned that they have improvised, or I would say improved the bass related or bass related thing, whatsoever you pronounce it. So even according to my experience, I still feel that there is again an improvisation of at least 30 to 40%, or I would say again 40 to 50%. So let's hope maybe next version, not sure where the beta or stable whatsoever been issued by the or released by the Asus. Apart to this, with respect to base, sometimes it feels like yes, it is working fine, and sometimes it is again like a worst scenario, or I would say worst experience. So I will really recommend you to share your experience in the comment section below with respect to the bass or bass improvisation. So if it is working fine, then you can tell me. If it is again, like as I mentioned you, that sometime it is worst, so you can also post the same. And aside to that, again, if someone is having a very poor quality audio or a poor audio quality, then I have already created a video to resolve that with respect to beta 2 version, which will also be working with the beta 4 version as well. So I'll be sharing the URL for the same in the description box below so that you can go over afterward. So after sound, now let's move to the display section. Although there is nothing major, few things like lock screen display. So now almost every user is familiar about this show lockdown option because it has been still available since Pi. So like I have turned it on. If I'll be pressing power button, I'll see this lockdown. If you'll turn it off, then again new notification with respect to ambient display, or you will say sort of ambient display is working absolutely fine on your lock screen. So there is no problem with that. So now after display section, now let's move to the battery section. So firstly, we'll be discussing the charging time. So it took nearly about 3 hours and 8 minutes to fully charge from phone from 0 to 100%. And I feel that it should be in the range of 2 or 45 minutes to 3 hours at most. And let me confirm you one more thing, that I'm using 10-watt compatible charger rather than the one which was shipped with this particular phone. And aside to this, ideal battery drainage, yes, I have, sometime it was 4 to 5%, sometime it was 5 to 6%, but at most I have seen 6 to 7% over a span of 8 to 9 hours, and sometime 9 to 10 hours, but I'll be taking it as an 8 to 9 hours. So if someone is having 10%, 20%, then I would really recommend them to do the battery calibration and also try to charge the phone with the compatible 10-watt charger to see whether that will help you at your side or not. Aside to this, now let's move on the gaming part with respect to battery consumption. Firstly, I'll be using Call of Duty now. So for the gaming part, like I always use, or I would say analyze on the basis of 1 hour of gameplay. So again, for 1 hour of gameplay with these graphic quality and frame rate, the total battery consumption was nearly about 15 to 16%, and I haven't seen any lag or any problem with the gameplay. So if someone is facing, then do comment us in the comment section below. And aside to that, I've also noted down the temperature readings. Those were like before starting the gameplay, it was 35 degree, and as soon as I completed, it was 40 degree. So this is negligible. I won't say this is much and more like on a greater extent. Now, good news for the ones who love to play Free Fire, because I have few comments in my previous video that bro, please do the review of Free Fire in your video and so on. So I thought let's start. And let me remind you one more thing. I'm not a fan of Free Fire, but now, like I am playing this from last 3 to 4 days, so I'm a bit liking this. So this is my initial part. So I'm just covering very few things. So again, I have done this 1 hour of gameplay, and the battery consumption was nearly about 14 to 15%. Apart to this, temperature readings were 33 before starting the gameplay and 40 degree after playing 1 hour of gameplay. And these were the graphic qualities like ultra and high, like apart of this, brightness, high FPS and so on. So I haven't changed anything. It was all which were default shipped with this particular game whenever I have installed it. If you want to see something else in my next videos, then do let me know, then I'll be playing with those particular settings as well. But this was all from my side related to this gaming experience on Free Fire with respect to battery consumption. Hope you like this. So after battery consumption, now let's move to the connected devices. So in connected devices, I usually do check two things. One is Bluetooth and another is screencasting. So Bluetooth is working absolutely fine, be it for file transfer or audio via Bluetooth devices. So there is no problem with that. Screencasting, it is working absolutely fine on Intel based laptop, but not on AMD based laptop. And this has been constant problem with me when the time I have purchased that AMD laptop. So I haven't was like able to find any solution for that. So after connected devices, now let's move to the network and internet. So in network and internet, firstly we'll discuss about Wi-Fi calling. So again, it is only available for Jio and working absolutely fine. There is no provision for Airtel SIM till now. Apart to this, native video call and call recorder, both the options are missing and still not available. Apart to this, Wi-Fi connectivity, mobile internet, SMS and calls, all are working fine. I haven't seen a simple, or I would say single problem in these things like Wi-Fi connectivity. If someone is facing, then I will recommend them, if they haven't reset their phone, then they do. But not apart of this, there is no other solution as of now. Before we jump into the quick settings, so this is a bug. Like sometimes these things will remove a, but you will sometimes say like customize your phone. I have already did this part, but it is still asking me randomly. Sometimes it will ask you that set up your next, I would say second Gmail account, and there is no possibility to remove this as well after, like if you don't want to do it. So this is somewhat annoying. I'm not sure whether this is done purposely by the developers or is it a bug and so on. So now let's move to the quick settings part. So in quick settings, like whatsoever has been available are working absolutely fine, be it dark theme toggle, torch, hotspot, and so on. So there is no problem with that. Like dark theme is also working fine, and many more like nearby share and so on. So there is no problem with that, and it's really good that. And now on home screen, again this bug, like this is fixed. You can't change anything here. You can't move it below or somewhere else. So not sure again if this is again done purposely. So there is no solution for that again. Now from the default app shifts perspective, FM radio is the one which I usually discuss with respect to stock ROM. So it is working absolutely fine. I know many people like to listen this whenever they are traveling by bus or any other thing. So it is working fine. So there is no problem with that. The next part is related to play protection certification. So device is certified, so there is no problem with that. So like few users have complained in the previous beta version, so that's why I'm covering this part. Although there are very less chances, but I have just confirmed you with that particular part. So afterward, now status of camera to API, it's good news that level 3 support is provided after installing this particular update. Apart to this wide one certification, bummer at my side, like still it is L3 and it has been persisting since the time I have installed that Android 10 beta version. And aside to that, stock camera, yes, it is working absolutely fine. There is no problem with that whatsoever. They have provided in the previous version, it is same. So I haven't seen any major change, but with respect to Android Pie, the UI is changed, so this is very good. And with respect to camera to API, I am using this Gcam 7.x and which is working absolutely fine. So there is no problem with that. So I'll be sharing the URL for the same with you in the description section below so that you can install it at your site. So now let's focus on a benchmark score. So these are the Enter2 benchmark score. Like this is like 1,44,859 and below ones are the consolidated on the basis of CPU, GPU, memory management, UX and so on. And aside to this, Geekbench scores. So on the basis of single core score and multi-core score, these are the score listing 279, 1143. And aside to that, on the basis of computation using OpenCL API or library, the score is 442. Again, Vulkan API is not working. And aside to this, if you want to test RAM and memory management, then I can open few apps like which we were using, like Call of Duty. So still, like it is connecting with server, but it won't be starting from the scratch. So it has just opened from the same screen. So overall, there is no problem with the RAM and memory management. Let me try to open Free Fire as well to see from where we will be. So again, it has opened from the same screen where we were discussing while I was discussing that battery consumption and so on. So overall, there is no problem with the RAM and management. Apart to this bugs, Zenfone logo again, it is back in the during the install, I would say, booting process. And whenever you will be using gesture-based navigation, you will see that gap between the navigation bar and this particular. So not sure whether this is purposely done, because if it was a bug, then it might have resolved since this is a fourth beta version. And apart to this, we have already discussed this part, settings as sections and so on. Now, as per the community, few people have mentioned that their apps are crashing, be it social networking apps and so on. Aside to that, some mention about brightness issue. So, okay, they might be facing unresponsive behavior, like their phone gets sometimes freezed. Apart to this, frequent battery drainage and slow charging time. Again, after this update, they are facing poor sound quality, and hopefully we'll see some changes. So now before wrapping up this particular video, I want to give my overall review score. So like I mentioned that there are few improvements to in this particular, that's why I have increased my score from 80 to 85 now out of 100, like with respect to beta 3 version. So overall review of this particular, or I would say overall review score of this particular beta version is 85 out of 100. So this was all from my side related to the review of version 432, that is Android 10 beta 4 for the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1. Hope you like this video. If you really like this video, kindly share this with your friends and family. And apart from this, Please subscribe to our channel because this will surely motivate us and boost us to create more videos like this in the coming future. Finally, it's the time to sign off now. Bye for now. Thanks.